here we go. Final destination for game one. No platforms for either of them to take advantage of. In a battle between two zoners. But they also both pack some pretty good air game. Where Snake has a lot of confirms off his grenades and whatnot. Pac-Man just has a ton of general jank. That's why I like to call him Whack-Man sometimes. Jmk. Already over 100% on this first stock. Cortex doing a really good job here. Good side smash. Taking Jmk down. Cortex getting some time to charge his bonus fruit. And a really good start for him, but Jmk trying to answer right back with that mortar. Nikita. Cortex, though, staying alive. Pac-Man really good at surviving. And he is going to avoid that Nikita, only to get caught with that dash attack at the ledge. So another chance for Nikita from Jmk. Cortex is going to make it back, though. Gets a couple forward airs. Now setting up for the fire hydrant. Jmk just barely getting his shield up in time. However, he gets caught by that melon, and Cortex starting to run away with this first game. Just when it looked like Jmk was bringing things back under control, he finally takes that stock, but he's over 100% yet again. Trying to fight to stay alive here in this first game. But it's really all Cortex right now. Jmk getting back, nearly getting caught with that bell. He tried to parry it, nearly got stunned. Now down to his final stock as Cortex looks to close out game number one and bring himself one step closer to that $20. Cortex with an apple in hand. It's going to get blown back. Jmk fighting to stay alive here. Has a chance. That side smash plus the hydrant. Not actually doing what I thought it would. I thought Cortex would have gotten blown away by that. The hydrant has some strange properties. Cortex now carrying Jmk towards that blast zone. He is going to back off. Nice back air before landing. What a great sequence there from Cortex. A little bit of improvisation. And it all pays off. Jmk suddenly at 100. Landing back air, trying to buy himself a way back into this first game, but it looks like it's all said and done as Cortex is cruising right now. 2 stocks remaining. Even though he's at 141%, this feels like a super comfortable lead for him right now. And Jmk just doesn't have it in him to bring it back from the looks of it. And yeah. Side smash beats out that up tilt on the fire hydrant, and Jmk gets absolutely obliterated to close out game number one. So Cortex just 2 wins away. So Cortex gets a pretty comfortable win in game one. Looks to continue the momentum. Oh, Cortex swapping to Banjo for game two. And Jmk seems to be dealing with it well to start things off. Well, Cortex definitely feeling confident. If you pull out a character swap after a win, you are just full on confidence. Jmk tossing out a mortar for good measure, but he keeps charging that up all the way. And usually you don't see Snake players that are going for a mortar at the ledge. You usually don't see them charge it up all the way. Trying to get one out as quickly as possible to disrupt people having a chance to come back. Cortex not going to be able to make it back that time. Waits way too long to pull out his recovery, so Jmk getting a little bit of a gift and taking the lead here. Cortex throwing out a taunt to acknowledge his blunder. Oh my goodness, he's just beating poor Kazooie into the ground as Jmk sits on the other side of the stage, doing pretty much nothing. Good down smash. Cortex catching Jmk there, hanging onto the ledge, and has a chance to bring this back, although he is already up in the 80s. Oh, great read from Jmk. Cortex rolling and gets caught by that up tilt. And Jmk now 2 stocks to 1, and he's absolutely running away with game number 2. So Cortex, maybe not the best move to swap to Banjo, because Jmk is playing a much better game this time. Cortex under 23% on his last legs here in game number 2. It looks like Jmk is going to even up the series and give us at least 4 games. Down throw, side tilt, game over. Jmk ties it up at 1 game apiece. So game number 3, and Cortex is pulling out Snake now. This man. He says, anything you can do with Snake, I can do better. And Jmk better buckle up here for this game 3. He's already playing from behind with the loser's bracket. Disadvantage.
3, 2, 1,
now,
go!
he's going to go up against a potentially better Snake, but Jmk has been playing Snake all night. Cortex has only pulled it out the one other time. So Jmk's had a little more practice on it tonight. He's kind of in form, warmed up, etc., etc. If Cortex is the better Snake player, it may not matter at all. Good back throw from Jmk. Gives him an opportunity to Nikita, but he's going to back off of that. They're so far pretty even on this first stock, although Cortex pulling away just a little bit. Okay, toss out that mortar. It's going to bail him out from that constant pressure from Cortex. Only for a little bit. Great parry. Cortex gets the C4 as well, and Jmk loses his stock first, but Cortex at 138%, and he's going to get spiked by the Nikita. No chance to tech that. And we are back to dead even. Both players now down to their second stock. Cortex, though, immediately off the respawn, getting the mortar, both the tube and the projectile connect. Cortex applying it to the pressure here, gets both hits off that side tilt, follows it up with a nice back air as well. Good spacing from Jmk, trying to turn things around here for himself, but Cortex is completely in control at the moment. Interrupting that side smash with a down throw. Cortex has absolutely no fear. But he also realizes that Snake's side smash takes forever to start up. And a good down smash to the ledge gives him the stock advantage, and he's at just 27%. So he's got a really comfortable cushion, but all of a sudden that's starting to evaporate. Jmk going on a nice little run here. I'm surprised he didn't try and throw out a back air at least. Cortex going to use his C4 to give himself another shot at getting back up, and he is going to make it, although he nearly sabotaged his chances to survive. And right now he's getting absolutely no extra credit, and somehow he lives off of that Nikita. I thought he was dead for sure. And Cortex, his lead, his super comfortable cushion almost completely evaporates in seconds as Jmk has brought this back. And both players down to their final stock. This could set up a last hit situation, and Jmk could actually go up 2-1 right now. This was not something I saw at the start of the set, considering how Cortex swept him earlier. So Cortex taking Jmk over 100%. But Cortex not too far behind. Jmk definitely still in this down the stretch. They're both trying to land grenades. Cortex going for that up tilt, gonna get punished for his whiffs on shield. Jmk tossing out that Nikita, but Cortex gonna be able to make it away from it. Cortex doesn't see that C4 though. Jmk sends him over 100, and Jmk is gonna get caught by a C4, and Cortex somehow manages to escape with the win. What the hell just happened there? Cortex managing to take game 3. And I'm going to queue up the replay on that. see JMK and Cortex dueling. There's a C4 down in the middle of the map. I believe that's JMK's. There's one C4. Were they planted on top of each other? There were two C4s planted in the exact same spot. My God. What the hell was that? That was just absolutely incredible as Cortex goes up 2-1. Cortex has gone back to Pac-Man to try and close out this grand final best of 5. Meanwhile, JMK fighting to stay alive and force the bracket reset. He's come this far. Can he extend this tournament a little longer? Cortex already over 100%, but JMK not too far behind, and he gets that up tilt, and that's going to be enough to take the first stock. So JMK with a lead, looking good for his chances to try and force game 5, but Cortex certainly going to be able to bring this back pretty quickly, I imagine. There's that stun, but JMK getting bailed out by a grenade, and that's something you've got to worry about. Anytime you start a combo or do anything to Snake, if he's holding a grenade, he's going to bail himself out of that. Even though he's going to take some self-inflicted damage, it's better than getting chained on or getting caught in a stun and a side smash, for instance. Now suddenly up 3 stocks to 1 as he just goes on a huge run right there against Cortex. And Cortex has that Apple plus Fire Hydrant, but he's down 2 stocks to 1 still. And I imagine JMK is actually going to be able to close this out and force game 5, barring something incredible. And look at this Fire Hydrant just being bounced around between grenades, and Cortex can do absolutely nothing about it as he tries to use his Galaxy to set up some jank, but he's actually just not even committing to it. Great up tilt. JMK gets it done, and he actually forces game 5 against Cortex. And again, Cortex got a sweep on JMK earlier, and whatever the reasons were, whether it was like an unplayable amount of lag or what, JMK just looked like he couldn't put him a fight, but now suddenly he's going blow for blow with Cortex in this grand final, and he's 1 game away from forcing a reset. And I imagine Cortex might be starting to sweat a little bit as we head into game 5. Things are looking really dicey for him. So Cortex will have stage pick. And I wonder if we're going to see a character swap from him. He won game 1 with Pac-Man and then got completely dominated in game number 4. It has been back and forth, so the pattern says Cortex will win game 5, but you never know. Jmk is definitely on a roll right now, and they're going to go Smashville, and they're going to stick with Snake and Pac-Man. So, the decider of this best of 5, which determines whether or not we get a reset or we get to pack it up for the night. And here we go. Cortex taking a split second here to start charging his bonus fruit. He's got a melon in hand. He's looking for the bell. Or actually, excuse me, that's the key. And that's going to be a quick 35% combined with the fire hydrant. That key plus hydrant can be absolutely devastating. Not the best kill power anymore since Smash 4, but it still racks up a ton of percent. Cortex sniping Jmk with that orange. Jmk starting to get back into things now. Nice mortar, and suddenly we're all even up percent-wise. Cortex avoiding a third mortar in a row. As they both retreat to their corners and attempt to set up for a bit of a stall fest with projectiles. But Cortex, big play from the big brain with that pellet dash. He can use the dash and the fire hydrant to rack up some nice damage, and both of them are now over 100%. Jmk holding onto his shield, playing smart there. You don't want to get caught in that coaxium because any Pac-Man player worth his salt is going to be able to make combos off of it. Jmk calls Cortex's bluff while he's holding the bell, just walks up to him and up tilts to take the first stock and take the lead. But Jmk's at 148%, so Cortex can certainly even things up in a hurry. Jmk, again, good patience holding on to that shield. Cortex has a key in his pocket, and he's going to toss it at ground level, so Jmk easily avoids it by staying on the platform. That air dodge, though, is going to get him killed. He was a little too afraid of the fire hydrant there. I think he would have been just fine. Although, if he did get his Cypher broken by the hydrant, a C4 to get back surely would have killed him at 157%. So, I can't really blame him for trying the air dodge. But in the end, it gives Cortex a little bit of a gift. With both players now down to their second stock, and they're pretty much dead even on percent again. Going blow for blow in the air. Looking like an episode of DBZ for a moment. Jmk gets stunned, but Cortex has no follow-up. Good back air as he chased him off stage a little bit. And again, just going blow for blow on the second stock. And this is super even, coming down to the wire. Both these guys want the win here. Jmk wants to extend the set. Cortex wants the money, and Jmk is going to take the lead with that up tilt. So this sets up a situation where he can definitely win this game 5. And he's in the driver's seat right now, but he is at 110%, so Cortex trying to get the stun, but Jmk parries. Great play by him. Great defensive play coming out from both these guys here. Good down air from Cortex. That jet of water might be enough to help him out, but Jmk actually is going to be able to make it back to the ledge. That Cypher getting a lot of mileage there. Cortex with that down smash, not quite finding the kill because it sends Jmk to the left, and he's got a lot of room to DI back. Cortex fading away in this 5th game as Jmk looks like he is going to close this out and get game 5, but never say never. Excuse me, get the reset. But Cortex with the hydrant kill. The hydrant coming out clutch, and it's just a 40% difference right now, so Cortex still definitely alive, but look at this run! Jmk suddenly with the grenades and the nair, racking up a shit ton of damage on Cortex.